had had enough.
Well, you drove out there into the middle of nowhere and had some sort of loud verbal display challenging ET in general out in the middle of nowhere?
That's what I was doing. I actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off. When I was having this fit, I was waving the gun in the air, okay, and I had this fit. And at this moment, I said, okay.
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFOs. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, he commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old Six Gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, Seriously. Well, Six Gun looked that critter right in the eye and said, "Any last wish before you die?" He yelled, reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
Hey everybody, good evening and welcome to the Tuesday night edition of Into the Night with me, your host Sean Kelly. How is everybody doing tonight? Man, I'll tell you what, I have a great guest. It's going to be an awesome show. And first of all, hey, Miss that girl, Sally, good to see you. Kurt, always a pleasure. Kevin, good to see you. And the dude, big fan, I guess that's what it says. I like that. I'll think about that. And CL. Okay. I want to thank UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans for allowing me to give you 2 hours a week, Sunday nights and Tuesday nights from 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. Don't forget, right after my show tonight, the Gateway Podcast with my dear friend C.L. Thomas. She is going to have Tracy Murphy and the Fox sisters. So, hey Donna, good to see you, hon. And whenever you get the opportunity, hey Tim Bogle, good to see you, buddy. Go over and watch her show, and give her some love, because I don't know. Tonight, I just get the feeling that she's going to have a great show tonight. All her shows are great, but I think this is the best one ever. So tonight, I have a special guest. This past Sunday, I was invited to his podcast as a guest, and I had a lot of fun. Now, a lot of people know that whenever I talk paranormal investigating, okay, I do it from the spiritual side, and I usually get people who are more spiritual than they are the scientific. But tonight I have a special person coming on, and what I learned on Sunday when I was on his show, okay, that he's into the scientific part of paranormal. And that's a lot of things that a lot of people don't understand, that they're, they heard about it, the scientific part of it. Hey, Heidi, good to see you, hon. And that, everything's spiritual, but there is that scientific part. Now, to be honest with everybody, I'm very spiritual. But when it comes to the scientific part of paranormal investigating, um, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? And I think I got a winner here tonight being on my show. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Ed the Hitman Odell. He is an investigator at Association for the Scientific Study of Anomalous Phenomenon, and I'm definitely going to ask him what that's all about. And he's the director, co-founder at Rift Nation Network. And he also has his podcast on Sunday night. I do believe it's called the Orion Effect. Him and I cannot get her name, dude. Hopefully you could tell me, because I feel bad because I keep forgetting her name. But without further ado, I'd like to give you my friend, Mr. Ed Hitman Odell. There you go, sir.
Good.
Welcome.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing, honestly. Thank you, Heidi and Rhonda. That's Heidi got me. But I'm doing great, and I want to thank you very, very much for coming on tonight. I have to first say that I really enjoyed being a guest on your podcast the other night. I had a lot of fun, and I'm telling you, when you told me that you were more into the scientific part of the paranormal investigating, I was like really excited about it because, like I said, you're the very first guest I've had on here that does scientific research on investigating. Okay. So, Ed, let's talk about it. Go for it. Give a little background and we can get into it.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I heard you brought up ASSAP. ASSAP is the oldest foundation in the world. It is made up of two of the original founding foundations, ESOP and ESIP. ESIP was created by Wilkerson and, oh my goodness, I can't believe his name just eluded me, and he's one of my all-time favorites. Was Dr. Wilkerson? Oh, I'll come back to it. Sedgwick. There we go. Dr. Sedgwick. I knew I'd get there. He was a botanist. It isn't interesting on that factor that a botanist actually was a part of one of the original and most organized paranormal research groups in the world of history. So that comes from, I get a lot of my studies. I talk to a lot of scientific approached individuals over at ASSAP. I have a question, I can go right to them. So it's really cool to be connected to there and to be a part of it. Along with that, I've had my own crew. Good Lord, I guess it's been about 15 years now. There's been different variations of it, but that's ASAP, All Seeing Paranormal Society, so ASPS, sorry. So we've done a lot of good things with that crew. We don't hear too much about us out there because we don't put ourselves out there. We're not one of those groups that you have to see this. We want to show this. This is what we got. We go in, we're trying to find our own answers. If we can't find our answer, why are we going to put it in the public?
Right.
And a lot of the team was like that. They're like, we're not going to put stuff out. So I'm like, yeah, I'm with you guys. This is what I want. So with that, I've been in the paranormal pretty much all my life. All my siblings and myself, both our parents were raised. My grandfathers were both Methodist preachers. My father was an Air Force intelligence officer, which back then was the Army Air Corps. I'm not going to say too much more about that. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm already in trouble for that. Yeah. And actually by the government. Anyway, And, my mother was very intuitive. With that being said,
Mhm.
my grandmother, Anne Chaplin, was one of the most impactful, intuitive mediums here in Virginia back in the 50s and 60s. So you can actually look her up. That's Anne Chaplin or Annie Chaplin. Methodist preachers on that. So me and my brothers and sisters have pretty much always been in it, but me and my closest brother, the middle boy, he's older than me. Of course, I'm the baby. We're the ones who really dove into it. Our next sister in line, she's very spiritual. She's very in line, and she's very familiar, and she won't talk about it. She'll be like, "We're not supposed to talk about this stuff." I'm like, "Screw you!
Right.
I'm talking about it." So I just want to take this time to say hello to everybody. Thank you for acknowledging me and saying hello to me. I truly appreciate it. So many of you. There's a little bit of time, as me and Sean have found out. We can talk all night long, so let's keep it going.
Yes, we could, but we only got an hour, dude. Maybe we'll
Good.
get
If
you
we
on
had 3 hours, we could keep going.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Absolutely. Sparky, hello, buddy. Welcome. Heidi says Orion Effect with Rhonda and the Hitman Sundays on Rip Nation Network. And hey, Joe Fox, good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you hit it in. All right. Listen, bud, tell us about Rift.
Rift. Wow. That's a whole nother story within itself.
We'll go for it, brother.
It actually came to be because myself and Sheila Gay, who was also a podcaster, and she had her own show. It was an amazing show. Her and Kirby Dupree. We were on another network, and the network had been traded through like 3 times before both of us came to and be solid there. And we're looking and watching how things are going. And we watched how several of the hosts and hostesses of that network felt like they needed to belittle people to make themselves look big.
Right.
What up, bro?
Right.
Actually, Ryan was part of this same network. Ryan Jones of the Freaking Awesome
Hello,
Paranormal.
Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Ryan.
See,
Thank you for
I remember
coming
that network. Well, Ryan had already left. He had already started his network. And Sheila and I were noticing just really bad situations. You don't belittle your guests. You don't make them look bad. You don't talk
No.
bad about them on the air. And I think if people think that's what they're going to do to get ratings, I think it's pretty sad if you're going to tune into a show like that.
Right.
So Sheila and I, yeah, go ahead, brother.
Oh, no, I was going to say the only people I really go after are the flat earthers. I'm sorry. I just have a problem with flat earthers. Hi, Cindy. Welcome. Ryan, good to see you. But please continue, sir.
All right, no problem. So Sheila and I got together and we were talking like, we can do this better. We can make it better. At that time, we were still doing the old school blog talk. Holy crap. Blog talk air. Yeah. So we were there for a couple of years and we did pretty good, but blog talk is not keeping up with the technology of today. They're still in podcast form. Every time they try to get into like this, they jam their systems up. Their servers get locked up. So we're like, this is not going to work. And then unfortunately, I had a heart attack. And a month later, Sheila had a heart attack. She lives in Texas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We had already lost one hostess by the name of Lisa Renaga. And, we had another gentleman on, Jennifer Malik's, her and her husband were on as a partial because they were on one solid network, but we were reprogramming, putting it back out. And then we lost him. But yeah, we both had heart attacks and unfortunately she didn't make hers. So we lost her that year, 2021. And that was pretty rough. That was a rough year. But luckily, Keith and Joni everybody were right there coming to me and saying, hey, we got this. You're okay. We're going to make this happen. And they did. They kept making the magic. They really did. I was so impressed with this crew. And then I stepped out of my comfort zone and I went, I know who we need. I know exactly who we need. And I had spoken to Keith about it. He's like, do you really want to try? Who is this? And I'm like, you'll see. So I reached out to Susan Swanback, who was one of the hosts on the original network, which back then was Rift Radio Network. Reached out to her. We talked. She said she was ready to come home. She wants to come home. We brought her back in, and she became the network programmer for the network, controlling everything. She built this network from scratch, her and I, just like Sheila and I did. Her.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Susan's been a remarkable ally. And then Ryan came on board to strengthen it. And we've just been building slowly. So Rift Nation Network is renamed.
Yes, it is. I mean, that is great. I've heard about your Rift, but I never had the opportunity to go watch your shows. You know what I mean? But now, maybe if I have time, I will do that. Cindy Waghorn, welcome. Mm-hmm. Glad to see you here. Let me see who else came in.
Michelle is
in
Michelle.
Michelle's here.
Michelle actually, Michelle actually has a series on my show, the Haunted Apartment. It's actually really cool because we actually do a live investigation. So we've been working with her on our apartment, just going through different scenarios and working with her to try to get a better understanding. So it's been really great with her.
Yes, Michelle's a sweetie. I've talked to her. She's great, man. She's like really cool. Ryan Jones says we are on every podcast network as well.
That's right.
Hey, Joni, good to see you, hon. Good to see you, Joni. Thank you.
Between that and Ryan's made sure that he got us back on the podcast part, the audio part of what we do. And, you know, he's been another great, solid member working with us. And as this is a family. We're a family over there. And we're tight knit. We don't deal with drama. We're just like, nope, not going to have with it. And we don't deal with it inside. If there's an issue, we all talk it out. If there's not an issue, we keep rolling. It's just family.
That's how UPRN is, buddy. We're one big happy family. And I mean, I got sisters that are up in Canada and all over the place. And it's like, they're awesome, dude. I mean, we're like a family.
I mean, look, you got Shellhorn on your side over there. You got Michelle. Carrie Lynn. Yep. Michelle is like, you know, her and I have known each other for a very long time. And Amelia.
She's a sweetheart. That's my boss. Yeah, Amelia, yeah. I'm trying to get her to come on my show to do a cooking show one night.
There you go.
Oh, my girl could see it. But listen, we're at the bottom of the hour. We're at 8:30, so everyone knows at 8:30 I do take my break now. And then when we come back, we'll get into the scientific part about paranormal. Okay, bud?
Absolutely.
So everybody, you know, I'll be back in 2 minutes, maybe 2.5. Go smoke a cigarette, go to the bathroom, get something to drink, do what you got to do, and come on back. If you want to, share the show. And we shall see you in about 2.5. man.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome.
Oh my gosh, I am terrible tonight. Hold on.
Welcome to Paranormal Heart Podcast with host Kat Ward.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the second part of Into the Night with me, your host Sean Kelly. I want to thank UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans. Don't forget, right after my show tonight, Miss C.L. Thomas and the Gateway Podcast, they are going to have Tracy Murphy and the Fox Sisters. So it sounds like it's going to be a very, very interesting show. What else was I going to say? I forget, but Sparky's right. Yeah, I'm losing control, dude. Thank you, Vet Girl. I'm losing control. Yeah, I'm with the show. Thanks, Cap. But I have my guest tonight, Mr. Ed the Hitman Odell, who is more into the scientific part of paranormal investigations. And so, Ed, welcome again. I'd like to know what we talked about before the show is the cameras, the videos, your thoughts on all that, being in the scientific field, please.
Gotcha. No, I appreciate you bringing that up and giving me a platform for that. I really do. I don't get a lot of chance to talk about it because I don't do the circuit anymore. I don't do lectures. I don't go to conventions nearly as much as what I used to. You actually see Ryan Jones. He used to do the lecture tour with me. We would talk about myths, legends, and lores and history in the paranormal. It's an interesting part about dealing with what we do. Now, if you are familiar with photography, the original cameras were almost a 3D version. That actually almost take a 3D picture of the whatever that's aiming at, because it was depth. It was a single shot zapped onto a piece of plate, and things advanced. We know that advanced, and then we got up into the 50s and 60s and 70s at shutter speed. Pop it, throw it on the film, and then ASAP, a crew out of them actually used a untapped container of film in one of their investigations. And they did this for a long period of time. They started in England, and then it came over to California. They were actually getting images on this roll of film. And this was a 35 millimeter rolled up camera, the old school, in the packages, in the little bottles. It was cool. It was so neat how they were going about them. And I definitely want to go and get me some 35 millimeter. But, they don't do it like that anymore. It's still the cartridge. Well, I think if you go back, you're going to see there's a lot more evidence with, do y'all remember the old Polaroids? That's
Yeah.
That was a snapshot. Yeah. It was a snapshot. Hey, Hold on. I'll be right with you on that one, Kurt. I will go back and read it. But it was a snapshot. Then you got the 35, the 35 millimeter, as it progressed, became technically sound. Okay. Which means it would correct the picture inside the camera because the technology, as it grew, okay, not then, not in the 80s, not in the 70s, and not in the 60s. This is why I always encourage anybody, you want to do 35? Go back and get you an 80s Fuji, something like that. Go in the 70s, Nikon, something like that. Because it's a single shot. It's not going to have the technical correction that is going on today. Let me read this real quick. Ed, would you recommend cameras with fast shutter speed? Okay, here's where that's going to come in. I heard that better for all strangest travelings, fast speeds, but less technical camera wouldn't really have any interference. Okay. In today's society, this is a great point, Kurt. Thank you. In today's society, the newest cameras, you're hearing autocorrect, even if it's a fast speed, that fast speed is corrected by the camera itself. You don't do the adjusting. Now, you still can get manual cameras, which is I would recommend. I've heard a lot of people say that the faster shutter speed is a better point of capturing. Well, it's the same thing as using the blinking lights during the investigation. Our eyes adjust to that just like a camera would. So,
I know.
So, do I think faster speed? Sure, but it depends on the technology. Now, I know, Sean, you want me to talk about it because I do want to talk about it. This right here, your phone is probably not the best thing to use whatsoever on an investigation when taking pictures. Now, I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying don't. You use whatever you want. If you think you can capture it, great. I've seen some good shots. Ryan's taken some great shots. Jimmy's taken some great shots. But I know that we could have done better. What happens in this little thing here is it's got a program that's in it for your auto, for your camera. It auto corrects the picture 125 times or more. So it's giving you the best quality picture that you think you're going to get. What happens? You know that quality goes to the ground. Look, I'm doing really good. I'm not cussing. Sorry, Michelle. It really goes to the ground. You lose that definition behind you, what's around you, because this program in your phone and all these newer cameras is designed to auto correct the picture. That's why I'm like, it's probably not a good idea to use this. Go back old school.
That's the way to go, man. We talked about that the other night. I love old school. I mean, literally.
Yeah, and people need to understand that. I can go more in depth on this on a very large scale, but we don't have that time. And if people gave us 4 hours, we probably still wouldn't have the time.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, that's the whole conclusion with cameras. Now, I didn't talk about, hey, what's up, Cass? Didn't even see you slide in, brother. Kevin, hello. Oh, look, travelers in the house. It can get really in depth. But if you get a little moment, you talk about it, let people know. Then you encourage people to do their own research. Yes, do it. Understand why. Why do I say this? Why do I say don't use this? Go find out for yourself.
Okay, let's get to the topic of orbs. Okay.
Damn it, man.
I wasn't going to let you go on that one. But my deal with orbs, when I first started out, I thought all orbs that I saw on the picture were spirits. And then as time went on, I really did some research about the orbs, and come to find out it could be dew, it could be mist, whatever. But what I want to bring to you is And what I used to do when I would investigate is I would feel a presence around me, okay, and I would have somebody snap picture, digital, and they would have a very bright, solid white orb right by my hand or somewhere around me. What's your theory on something on orbs? Because I know a lot of people are really like big on orbs now.
Have
And
you ever seen that?
squigglies. You know what I'm talking about, squiggly?
I know what you're talking. You ever seen that meme where Johnny is running down the beach from the headhunters trying to get away?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow running from the natives. That would be me. I don't believe in orbs per se. It is about 90% is fabricated, misunderstood pictures. Look at me. I didn't cuss again. Yeah. A lot
You're
of them.
allowed to cuss every now and then, dude.
No, dude.
You
I'm
can
really
cuss
trying.
every
I don't
now
need
and then.
Michelle on my butt. I'm good. I'm proud of
No,
myself.
no. It should be on my butt.
Yeah, right. Well, let me. This can go in depth too, but I'm going to make it really quick. Orbs come from everywhere and everything, and I'm not saying it's not spiritual. I'm just saying majority of the time it is not. It can be debunked or explained. A lot of people don't understand that to really do some paranormal research, you need to know how to do a structure of a location. You have to understand how that works. You can't just go in the house and go, okay, and nothing against you, Sean, on this one, but I'm going this side of it. We're stepping on this side of the wall.
Good. That's why I got you on, dude. Come on.
You can't go in to a home and not understand what's going on in that home so you can get a proper thesis on the situation.
Right.
You go in, suddenly you're taking a bunch of pictures. You think you're taking a bunch of EMF hittings. Great. All right, you're doing the work. Okay? You're trying to figure out where is this coming from? Where is this from? But did you take the time to understand the structure? And I like to call it the containment area. I don't like to go inside and say, we got a client's home, but to me in ASPS, it's the containment area. We don't do things like everybody does either. Actually, we're not called investigators per se. It's ISIs, our on-site investigators. It's just our thing. It keeps us who we are. So, because we do have cameras that are on site that we're away from that we utilize as well. So, back to this. So, orbs can come from the bottom of walls. Orbs can come from the kitchen. Orbs can come from you. Orbs can come from a room where your pets are because orbs are coming from the pets. Orbs are coming from the bathroom. Sorry, y'all. I know this is about disgusting, but I'm sorry. Feces floats in the air. It's scientific fact.
No, yeah.
You guys got to understand that. Water molecules play havoc with pictures. Pictures love it. Oh, it's something. It ain't stuff. So you really have to understand. Now, this is the one thing I would tell anybody. If they're getting into it and they're wanting to understand, get into understanding house structures, apartments, homes. How are they put together? Because they're all put together differently too. Ryan Jones and I have done so many things together, and he's seen it before, and he'll ask me questions. And I've gotten to the point, where he's done to this location, and I can ask him questions now, and he'll like blah blah blah. I'm like, bam, that's what I'm talking about. So, in fact, I know he's about to go on air in about 15 minutes. So, after this, check out the freaking awesome show. I'm sorry, had to. But
you're allowed to, man.
But the one thing people should know is dust does come from up underneath. Just because you have a baseboard runner doesn't mean it's going to protect the dust from coming up. The dust comes from inside the wall. It pushes it down the wall and flows it back out.
Mhm.
You may not think that, you think it's a sealed to the floor. It is not. It's still going to come through. Michelle and I have had this discussion. I walked this with her many a times, and she's learned. God, Michelle has learned so much about orbs, etc., with us working with her and her working with other teams, and that's Michelle Wilfong on an apartment. That it's just amazing what she has come to learn. Now, there's different types that you can really categorize, and if it is or is not. I would encourage anyone that is an investigator or is wanting to be an proper investigator and proper researcher, understand your element spices, flint, lint. That's a whole thing. There's actually a place that you can go online, and it shows you about 100 to 300 different pictures per what it is: salt, pepper, garlic, dander. What kind of dander? Human dander, pet dander. Did you know dander comes from rugs?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Know that. I heard of that. Yeah.
So how many people are running around taking a picture and they're like, "Oh man, I got an orb." No, man, you just got a dust particle off your floor. That's all it was. And I'm not saying it's not, but
Okay.
if you know what it looks like and you attack it with that knowledge, it makes it so much easier. It's just like we were talking to. Not a lot of people do residentials anymore because a lot of issues with 3 or 4, and I'm not going to talk about that right now, but I can understand their
Right.
point. But we're still here for the client. We're still here to help people around
Oh
Virginia.
yeah, absolutely. That's
You
what paranormal investigating is all about. But man, the questions have come out for you, my friend. Michelle says, "Why do they go through my TV?"
Now, here's the thing, and I'm glad you brought that up, Michelle. Not a lot of times are they going through your TV. Now, the ones we've seen, she does have some that do. She does. She
Yes.
has some seriously active orbs in her apartment. So there's a lot of them I cannot deny. Hey, Cal. But a lot of them, dust, static electricity attracts dust. So if you're seeing it and it's
Okay.
coming out of TV or a radio, or whatever, it's because it's being drawn to it. It's the electron to electron pulling it through. But with Michelle's case, you will see it actually go through the TV. Now, sometimes that's
Yeah.
behind the TV and it looks like it's going through. That's not always the case, but that's sometimes what's happening is it looks like it's going through the TV, but it's not. Now, Michelle has seen physical orbs. And she,
Oh, right.
you need to go to a haunted apartment and check them out, especially the outsides. Dude, you don't believe in fairies? Go check out some of her stuff. She's got some
Oh, we believe in
interesting.
fairies.
Yeah. Dude, think about this. What we learned, we must relearn. We were taught a bunch of malarkey when we were kids,
Yes.
and this has happened over and over. And we get blocked by 9 to 10 years old because our development as we go through our stages of male and female, the mentally blocks begin. With many of you who are mediums and psychics, etc., you're learning to either bring that down or to work with those blocks, the veil, your veil, if you will. So I have seen some crap, and I would have been like, "Oh, there's no way." I've seen things with other people that I got witnesses, so I know there's some serious stuff out there. Serious
Right.
stuff.
Sparky has a question for you, but that's not orbs. Orbs are balls of energy that produce their own light, not just reflections in a camera. Question mark.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. There's no denying that. I'm not saying that orbs, I'm using the term that society is using, Sparky. I'm not using my terminology. I don't want to confuse anybody. This is why I don't go into numbers and algorithms when it comes into this, because people get lost. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, I got to remember, pull back. So I try to go into it as much as I can. So yeah, it's absolutely right.
Okay, where else we got? Oh, Heidi wants to know why they go through her body.
I can't explain that one. I'm not even going to try.
Okay.
That is not my area. I can say I know why. I can look at the possibilities on the walkthrough, the pass through, the dimensional half cut, or the partial possession, but I'm not physically there. So I try not to make any negative comments when I'm not physically around a person, place, or thing.
I like that answer. I answer like that too. She goes, but the ones that move intentionally, and I know what she means by the blinking ones. We did an investigation over the Italian club over in Charleroi. And what happened, dude, we had the camera sitting by itself, nobody around, okay? 2 orbs came at it, and at the very last minute, they crossed.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera moved. So, I mean, I understand your theory, and I respect what you believe in on the orbs. It's just, it's been a topic, and I figured you've been in it for a very long time. So I wanted to hear your explanation on it.
Yeah, I can get so deep though, Sean. That's the problem.
I only got an hour, dude.
I know, right?
Got an hour to get this.
Oh, thanks, Sparky. I'm telling you, man, we're going to have to do a show and do it like 3 hours and just chat all night long.
We can do that, man. If
we'll bring Sean Elliott in, and we'll have a paranormal. It's time for a paranormal sit down.
Yes, sir.
Fireside.
Okay. Yes. Just give me the date and the time, and I'll be there.
I wish you would do that.
Michelle says, makes me feel a spider web when they go through me.
Yes. Now that can be defined too. I can get into that. I do want to say one thing. Both Einstein and Tesla both said the same thing. If you want to understand the paranormal, you need to bring religion together with spiritualism. And with that, bring the science. 3. You need 3 parts to understand true paranormal. Both men said that. And it's so true. When I let go and stopped being so intellectually combative, oh, that was good. Look at me. I experienced more. I did experience a lot more than I had. So,
right.
The flaky ones, yeah.
Heidi says orbs are so controversial. Yeah, they are.
They really are.
Michelle says, I love the flinky ones.
Yes, she does.
There's my dear friend CL.
Hey, CL.
Yes, don't forget everybody. Her show's on next, right after mine, and it's going to be Tracy Murphy and the Fox Sisters.
There you go.
And that girl says, "Look at Ed go." Here, let me put this up for you so you can read it.
Yeah, go right there.
There you go.
With orbs, photos are very hard to get. Videos are better, but if you're not there, so hard to understand it's real. Why? And the reason for. So exactly. Yes. Not there. How can you criticize if you're not there on the situation at hand? And this is what, okay, here we go. Let's drop the 6-gun real quick. You only got a couple minutes. Click, click. Let's roll. So here's the deal. Anybody that's out there wants to criticize somebody else's piece of evidence, they can go kiss somebody else's rear end.
Thank you, sir. That's the first thing I tell people who criticize my shit. The very first thing I said, were you there? Were you there when this was happening? And
exactly.
They said, no. Then I said, shut up. You do not have to judge me.
You don't have the right. You do not have the right to judge. You have the right to your opinion. Please give me your opinion. What do you think? Now, Ryan is great at this. Ryan, when he puts it out, goes, What do you guys think? We're not telling you what it is. We're asking your opinion. But when I know something is something and I put it out there and I tell you and somebody comes along and wants to try to debunk me, dude, I'm either going to make you look really bad. I'm going to call you out in the paranormal world and go, fool, or I'm going to belittle you because you don't have the right to do that. That's bullying.
CL says, yes, I am tired of that crap as well. Sean, really love you. Got Ed on. Really like how he goes, thinks and explains things. Hey, that's why I got him, dude.
Thank you. Thank you.
But you know what? Seriously, I ain't afraid to call out anybody. Ask CL. Ask CL about me calling out people. And you can ask Jenny Nicasio, man. I mean, if I think you're full of shit and I think you're being an asshole about your evidence or whatever, I'll call you out. I will call you out.
I'm getting close to that, Sean. That's how I got this name. That's actually how it came about, was how the style I used to be as the host and DJ of that show. I calmed down. I've been more in the box because I am in a higher position now. I am the focus of RNN. I can't go around and causing crap. You know what I mean?
Right.
However,
absolutely, dude.
So, yeah.
Absolutely, my man.
What my age?
Oh, my gosh. I am so glad you came on. We got about 3 minutes left here, dude. Kurt says, great energy in this episode with two great dudes. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
that.
very much.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, they're talking about the cold weather up in Colorado. Yeah. We got 4 inches here in Pennsylvania today.
We didn't get any, luckily. Thank God, here in Virginia. Yeah, no, right down here in Southwest, we got rain. It didn't turn ice, and we didn't get any snow, thank the Lord. But it's supposed to be coming. It's supposed to be coming.
It will come. If it
you know what? We're gonna have to have a show one night and talk about how weather can affect the paranormal.
Oh, exactly, dude. Absolutely.
We can talk some serious about that.
That too, and how about yeah, that's it. How about, honestly, check it out, how you can investigate in the daytime and still get the same amount of evidence that you get, if you were doing one at night.
You could probably get more. We were out at the outer defenses of Richmond, Civil War, outer defenses, walk around. We were at the main quarters at the end. We got in a clear EVP. Get the hell out of here.
I believe it.
Clear.
No doubt.
I
go to Gettysburg all the time, brother. That's where I hang out. I go to Gettysburg all the time.
Satch Bridge, go up about a half mile. Bam!
Yep. Now, Vecro said our show went too fast, like usual. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
It really does.
Let me see. Kevin says, fastest hour ever with 2 of my favorite hosts. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Sparky said, oh, yes, I think that's when we had to do the round table. Good night, Heidi. Good to see you. Sleep well, sweet dreams, all that good stuff down there. Sparky says, weather and spirits, they and others, it so changes.
Yes.
And we got to get going here, brother, because we got CL coming on next about 9:10, I do believe. And but seriously, if you can do it on your channel, I know I cannot get a good 2-3 hour roundtable on this.
Don't worry, I can
platform.
do it. I'll make it happen.
Thank you, Johnny. Sweet, that'd be even better. And thank you for coming on tonight. It really meant a lot to me. Just looking all of my people in the chat rooms talking about it when you brought up the orbs and your own thinking of the scientific ways. And I'm telling you what, this was a great, great show. That girl says she loves us all. And Sparky says, yes, round table. Yes. Oh, yeah, we'll get one
Excellent. In there. Just follow the link. I put the link to RNN right up here. Just click on it. Go check us out. We'll be there.
Oh, yeah, you got to check them out. I was on the show Sunday night, and they're just great. But listen, my friend, I got to let you be. Okay.
Absolutely.
So you're more than welcome to hang around toward the end, or if you want to punch out, go right ahead, sir. Children, okay, everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight with me and Ed, and we're talking the scientific part of paranormal. Children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them.
Absolutely.
And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them.
Remember that mother is the name of God on all his children's lips.
That's so true. And if you have no parents, and if you have no children, find somebody, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them.
That's right.
On that night, good night, everybody, and we'll see you Sunday night.
May virtue